Okay, Councilman Johnson, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Okay, can I have an acceptance of the agenda?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the agenda with the following amendment. I'm sorry. No amendments.
Oh, okay. You threw me off.
Support.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilwoman Cross, supported by Councilwoman Pats. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. 4.1, can I have a motion to approve the acceptance of the minutes of the meeting held December 1st, 2020, and dispense with the oral reading?
Motion.
Support.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilman Ramik, supported by Councilwoman Croft. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. This now takes us to the Mayor Communications part of the agenda. Mayor Sollers, do you have anything tonight?
Mr. Chairman, I do not. We do have one open business item that I believe was added to the agenda, but that'll be at the end.
Okay, Parks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, this now takes us into the regular part of the agenda. Item 6.1 is a motion to approve the fiscal year 2021 budget amendment dated 12/15/2020. And I would actually like to make an amendment to this motion with the following changes. The first change I would like to change is taking fire public safety emergency overtime, item 101-336-713-152000-000 from an amount of $750K to $500,000. The second one I'd like to remove completely is the Parks and Rec Park Improvement, 101-751-974-00-000. And I will discuss if there's a second.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by myself, supported by Councilman Bazura. Is there any discussion? And I would just like to lead that discussion explaining why. The first one, I'm going to go on to the fire public safety. $250,000 was budgeted for overtime for police or for the fire department. We are now we're 6 months in and we're at roughly $340,000. We're already over budget halfway through the year. I understand things that happen, but the increase to $750,000, in my opinion, is too much money. I'm more than willing to work with the fire department, but I also think in these times, with everything going on right now, and I know I've challenged and I know other council people have asked, that we've got to start doing things to save money. And I don't want to open a blank check on overtime. So I decided instead of giving the $750,000, I'm comfortable with $500,000, whether my council agrees with me or not. That way it gives you enough leeway, but still continue to work to save money on overtime. The second thing I've removed is the park improvement. Now before everybody starts, I'm not anti-dog park, I'm not anti-pickleball court, or anti-bocce ball court. I voted against Fletcher Park because I thought it was prime real estate. I didn't want to see it as a park, but I lost. So I'm okay with making improvements to that park. I voted on the lighting, even though I thought Heritage Park should get lighting before Fletcher Park. But the biggest thing is we are currently operating in a deficit for this year. We do have fund balance, but we're over budget already. Have to start doing things to save money, and I haven't seen that. So it is my opinion that spending $700,000 of general fund money is just financial irresponsibility, in my opinion. So that is one of the reasons I made that decision. I know it's tough, and I'm not saying that in the future that I'm not for this stuff. If we get some lump of money from the government, either the state or the federal, it can definitely come. I'm not ruling this out one bit, but I just don't think it's a good time to do this right now. Does anybody else have anything?
Mr. Chair, I agree. At this time, with the city, I can't see spending all this money either.
Mr. Chair, I have to concur. The amounts of money that I've seen on this one page alone for another park, 200 yards away from our primary park of this city, it kind of upsets me that we're dumping that kind of money into a park 200 yards away when our prime target should have been to continue the growth of our nice park. Maybe someday down the road. I had one question, in reference to that. I was kind of concerned with is how much money have we placed into that park already?
I don't know if Jason could maybe answer that, or maybe Guido, a ballpark for Fletcher Park. It would just be basically the paving, the lighting, Mr. Ball?
What's the paving show the one through, concrete,
Community. Okay.
Well, how much was the grant?
Mr. Chairman, the vast majority of the paving, I think we had a 20% match. I don't know the total off the top of my head, but that was the TAP grant. That also funded the pavement markings and the signage that goes with that. So other than that, I think we have spent $40,000 on lighting. Is that correct? $43,000 on lighting. Other than that, I don't think there's been any additional monies other than just cutting it, which we'd have to cut anyhow.
Has the new playscape been paid for already out of the first grant? Or are we going to be paying additional monies into the playscape?
I'm sorry, what playscape?
Is there a playscape going into Fletcher?
No.
There isn't?
No.
There won't be a playscape at Fletcher Park?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. In regards to the fire department overtime, why is it so much over what was, I know there's staffing shortages, but what's being done to mitigate that?
Well, it's, Mr. Chairman, it's really not even so much that there's staffing shortages. We are challenging the fire department to handle ALS transporting with 20 less bodies than we used to do it with. We used to do it with 63 people. We're down in the low 40s right now, maybe even the high 30s. So unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of having more staff or as much staff as we used to. So what happens is that when you have guys that call off or have Kelly days, unfortunately, it has to be subsidized with bodies, and that creates overtime. The solution to that, to eliminate overtime, would be just to hire a bunch more people. Now, we do have people in the budget, but to continue to provide ALS transporting, we have to try to do it with 42 to 43 people. If we get back up in the 63 bodies, it's going to be lopsided the other way. So, our decision was to try to do it with less people, but it does create the occasional overtime. But if you look at the revenue stream that we're generating, it more than pays for that.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Missouri?
I don't remember the numbers. When we brought back transport, there was a plan that was put out that we were going to hire, I believe it was 6 additional guys, and it was going to take us to a number, and then there were some revenue projections. Are we at or below that number of that original plan? Do you know? I'm not sure what the number is. I thought it was a +6 when we brought back transport, but I don't know what our FTE is right now.
I know Chief Portis is here. I don't know if he has the answer. Chief, if you want to come down and speak to that. I don't know if you know the exact
I mean, the answer might be that the plan should have been +8 or +10. I'm just curious, relative to the plan that we all voted on, where are we at today, FTE-wise?
Good evening, Council. Currently, we have 34 members on the fire department. And if you do recall, yes, I did budget at the beginning when I prepared this budget and sent it to administration and the council. Therefore, 6 additional. But also, if you remember when we took over dispatching at the fire department, there were supposed to be 3 additional personnel. There was 2 I still couldn't hire. So that's basically 8 we're down. And, like Mr. Woolley said, we had some things happen, retirements. Some people resigned, went other departments, brought us down to 34.
So that plan, we're short 8 from the plan that we all looked at and said, hey, this is a great opportunity to improve services to our residents and bring back transport. Okay.
Right. We couldn't hire them. There's a lot of reasons to why. I can give you some of them, but that's the main reason for why there's such a gap in the, why we're trending significantly higher than last year in the overtime budget. As far as, it's not just our city, it's other cities and public safety in general throughout the state of Michigan and the country. There's just not as many applicants. And the qualified applicants now are looking for what opportunity best seeks them. Got to be competitive. At this point, we're just not there as far as the competitiveness. I think we're working on that, but right now we're just not there.
Well, the way I look at it is, you know, when I went through that, I looked at what we had spent already, and we're 6 months in. So I basically doubled that to give you, you know, if we spent this much in 6 months, we should probably only spend that much in the next 6 months.